Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. These days, you know, it feels like everybody got something to say to help you out with different modalities, gratitude journals, screen detoxes, whatever. But how do you know what actually works for you? Guess what? Your mental health is important, and if you've been struggling with that, this is where BetterHelp can come in. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. That is amazing. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/genius.
Disgusting the whole Epstein thing is. It's human trafficking. The biggest human trafficking.
But it didn't happen. There's no files.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. If there's no Epstein files, then Ghislaine Maxwell should be out of jail.
Yeah. Why is she in jail then?
Who are clients?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it was Epstein.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. Yes, we're doing quickie episodes because we got to knock out so much while I'm here in Los Angeles. And we got to talk about Epstein.
So, we did talk about it last time. And I was honestly thinking, I wonder what's going to put up, Epstein or Superman. And then the news came out that fucking Trump is on the Epstein files.
Big surprise!
Surprise! We knew that.
Big fucking surprise, man.
I'm more or less like, who didn't know? How did you not believe he wasn't part of it? With all of the evidence that's always been there, there's photos of him together. There's literal depositions of Epstein saying he is friends with Trump.
Best friends.
Yeah.
My closest friend.
Trump bought the Miss Teen USA pageant for some reason and brought Epstein with him to the pageant. Oh.
This is such a weird time in the United States, right? I definitely see, like, politically, this is the most divided I've seen people, right? And it made me, like, really think about how badly did the left or the Democratic Party fuck up their side to have gotten this guy elected? Like, how did you do this, right? And then I think what happened too, just for me and, the things that I was talking about, even when this was happening, when I got into arguments with people, and I don't know if people still understand what I'm saying about this, is that the way that I think the Democratic Party decided to push their personal agenda essentially pushed everybody in the middle to the right, right? Not because they perfectly aligned with right ideals. It was just that, fuck it, let's just take a chance, right? And they took a chance with Trump, right? Because they felt that a lot of the stuff that he was going to do was going to dismantle whatever this, like, government regime has been doing in, like, the dark side of it, the stuff that we don't know.
Yeah.
And Trump is supposed to be the savior because he's so anti-control.
He's supposed to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
He is the swamp.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks, right? Because the people who are in the middle who decided that, okay, let's take a chance with this guy because whatever we've been doing before hasn't been working. And they feel like there was a lot of lies, a lot of other, like, extra wokeness, which was happening. Which is true. So they took a chance, and it turned out that the gamble is not working out in their favor right now.
Yeah.
And even people who are just, like, moderately on the right side are really, really pissed. And the people that are fighting hard for somebody like Trump and this, they don't even like Trump. They just want their side to win. Is what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure if that's once again, my pulse on, like, politics is very, very weak. So I'm curious to see what people are going to think about this. This is just what I've been thinking from my periphery view of everything that's going on. It's just from what I remember. A lot of people who are in the middle, I'm also in the middle, they just like, fuck it. We've been lied to about the whole COVID thing. And if Trump is like this representation of no more lies, well, fuck his personality. I don't like his personality, but I'm going to take a chance. But it turns out he's also a piece of shit.
He's like been lying. Did everyone forget he was the president before?
Yeah.
I'm so, like, did everyone forget it wasn't that long ago? This is the thing. After January 6th, I literally thought there's no way he could win again.
For me, I knew that I felt like he was going to win. And I said this on a podcast that didn't go up. But I had a feeling that he, once again, because of what I just said, and also because they did the bait and switch with Kamala Harris.
No, I mean, as January 6th when it happened.
Oh, yeah.
In 2020, I was like, no way. To see him come back into the fray and then become the nominee and then I'm like, I don't have hope for this country. This is why I watch Superman.
Yeah.
I need hope. Consistently, whoever leads and is in charge, I don't give a fuck if it's Congress, judicial, or if it's the deep state. They don't give a fuck about us and where we're headed and what's going to happen.
I don't even understand if people truly get how disgusting the whole Epstein thing is. It's fucking human trafficking. The biggest human trafficking.
But it didn't happen. There's no files.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. If there's no Epstein files, then Ghislaine Maxwell should be out of jail.
Yeah. Why is she in jail then?
Who are her clients?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it was Epstein. He was the number one client. He was the one that did all of it. You told us there were 1,000 victims.
Yeah.
Let's get an affidavit from the victims.
Let's hear from them.
Right? Let's hear like who they had to, have sex with. All of this stuff. Like there's Jane Doe, all of that. And then they say the thing that came out was the reason why Epstein got out, went back into jail apparently, because remember he had that sweetheart deal?
Yeah.
They were saying that was fucked up because they didn't tell any of the victims that was his sentence. Had they heard or known, then they would have objected to that, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't tell them to just
holy shit,
sweep it under the rug. And that's why it all happened again.
I think like the more insulting thing, because obviously I did quick reads on this before we did this podcast, just because, it's interesting. I'll probably read more about it later, was that I didn't know that, the whole Epstein file, the video case about him, committing suicide or whatever, there's a whole 3 minutes missing.
Yeah.
3 fucking minutes.
That angle too, those 2 doors, that's not Epstein's cell. His cell, so there's that wall in the foreground, right? And then there's that background, this octagon thing center, right? And then it shoots out into different wings of where the cells are. And we're on this little corner seeing one part of these 2 doors.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the other side of the camera of that foreground wall. Yeah. That's where his cell is. So the camera pointing at that is not Epstein's door.
That's crazy.
So they think, we're not fucking stupid.
Especially because Kash Patel, the cross-eyed FBI leader, that motherfucker, dude, I decided to listen to that podcast, right? I like picking and choosing Joe Rogan because you could see whoever he's interviewing and then you could see the ones that you like. I was like, oh, he's going to interview Kash Patel.
FBI director, got to hear about this.
This motherfucker.
About JFK and all that shit.
Dude, this guy, dude. Do you think we're fucking stupid? He goes, if there was something fishy about it, I would know. And I'm telling you, it was just a straight suit. Do you think we're fucking dumb? Are you?
His neck broke in 3 places?
Yeah.
Where did he jump from?
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? You cross-eyed fuck? What are you saying, dude? Stop staring at your nose. Like, that shit was insulting to me.
Yeah.
3 minutes is missing. That's plenty of time to kill somebody. 3 whole ass minutes.
Well, it's 1 minute is missing 3 times. That's what I heard, not 3 whole minutes.
Oh, I thought it was 3 minutes in total.
So it's like at the way the cameras are set up, what they're telling us is that at every 59th minute, the camera's reset or something. It goes out, which is, I've never heard of surveillance camera doing that ever for
like,
whatever
what is your
reason.
surveillance? Brinks?
Yeah.
It's like, aren't you the government?
Fuck? Why would you, why would you need a minute missing every hour? I don't get it, But also, it doesn't fucking matter because it's a camera angle not showing Epstein's cell.
That's so fucking funny that a government security camera inside a fucking criminal facility like that is worse than my Ring camera.
Yeah.
Like, my Ring camera catches everything.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. That makes no fucking sense. Or if
Not
that's the case, then what the fuck are we spending our money on then?
Yeah. That's the problem is when you go through the government, a box of nails costs $900 and a hammer costs $50,000.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem with it. Which, hey, what happened to that whole Doge thing?
Yeah, I want to hear more about that shit. Because remember, I was actually pretty hyped about Doge because they were uncovering all these things. Whoa, what's going on now?
What happened? You just left Elon in the dust to take all of your shit. He got a lot of shit, especially for me, which I don't regret anyway.
Yeah.
But like, and then what? It's over? Still no government oversight? They raised the budget for the military by another $150 million, which means that's a straight trillion
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
$1 trillion a year for a military. Like, what?
I'm so confused.
Not to say we don't need it,
well,
but that's more than every country combined.
Well, at least like Elon has the scruples to be like, fuck you. Like, this is not what we discussed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're going to put the country in more debt.
He was the one that threw shit at the fan when he tweeted, they're not releasing the Epstein files because Trump's in it. And then went to sleep.
And guess what? He was right.
He was right. But also, any liberal knew that from literally when he first began running it back in 2016. Like, we've already obviously have a hateful bias against Trump, but look at liberals right now. Duh. That's the answer. They keep saying, duh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like, it's like they've given up.
Yeah.
Like, we're supposed to just give up on this country. We have 4 more years of this.
Yeah.
I
think like the hard part too is because when things are so politically charged, like you can't have much of a conversation because it's, just getting into a yelling match. Like I told you with a friend of ours where it's just like, dude, I didn't say I'm supporting Trump. I'm just telling you the reasons why I think he's going to get reelected.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It wasn't hard to believe he was going to win last year because he got fucking shot.
Yeah.
Like,
that was it. That was done.
Yeah, that was it. I knew he's like, he's going to win.
Yeah.
You can't just lose after surviving an assassination attempt.
For reals.
Most of the people in the world looks at that and like, oh my God, the deep state wants to kill Trump.
Yeah.
So we have to elect him now. It's
and he is the deep state.
Yeah.
Like this is such a terrible, terrible look on our country too, especially because we got duped by him, right? And everybody who took that risk, they're finding out that the risk wasn't worth this reward, right? Because like I said, everybody was okay with dealing with his bullshit, his personality, and probably even the Epstein shit.
Yeah.
As long as he did what he said he was going to do. And now what's happening, right? He's funding a war, which, by the way, huge part of his campaign was what? I'm going to release the Epstein files and I don't believe in wars.
Yeah.
And both of them he's lied about. So now what do we have left?
Honestly, what is there to do? A UFC event at the White House?
Oh my God. That's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life, dude.
Where John Jones is like, I would come out of retirement to fight at the White House.
Yes,
well, you better fight Aspinall.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
Also, too, with that type of shit, man, it's like, are you even going to show up? And second of all, great job having a fucking criminal there.
And we didn't even talk about like the 250th anniversary of the Army parade. Did you see that?
No.
Pathetic. America doesn't do military parades because we have such a big dick of guns.
Yeah.
Right? We don't need to do that like North Korea does.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't need to parade around our shit. And so you saw all these Army officers not marching in step. Like every comment I read was, everybody in the Army knows how to march. They're doing this on purpose as a protest.
This is stupid.
This is stupid. Yeah. So we just wasted $100 million on this parade because it was also Trump's birthday. That's fucking crazy. And then you saw the government White House actually post a picture of people, right? It's AI. They added all these people in the background. It's like, that's what our government is now, huh?
Did you see the video with, is it Hassan Mehdi?
Yeah.
He's a journalist from the UK. I think he is now an American citizen, but it was like a Jubilee video.
Oh, yeah, of course. That went mad viral.
That one went super viral, which I don't watch a lot of Jubilee stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of their stuff at this point now is very insightful. right? It's just trying to piss people off.
Yeah,
And
it's rage bait.
It's a lot of rage bait, and I don't like that.
It's when I watch it, I'm like, wow, these people exist in our
Yeah.
country. That's what it makes me feel like, and that's not good for anyone.
Yeah, it's not good for your psyche, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't help but feel like, oh, this is how that side is. You're finding the most extreme versions of it. The most extreme fucking liberals, the most extreme right-wing people that everybody fucking hates.
You get one centrist versus 20 centrist, and it's the most boring video.
Yeah. They're like,
One left-leaning versus 20 right-leaning.
They're like, I can see your point.
Yeah, all right.
But this is what they have to do, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I think what I don't like about, it's good for their platform because it gets views, but it's bad for people and also bad for conversation. It's just somebody screaming at each other. There's no fucking structure.
Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. These days, it feels like there's advice for everything. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes, but how do you know what actually works for you? With the internet and information overload about mental health and wellness, it can be a struggle to know what's true and what actions to take these days. Using trusted resources and talking to live therapists can get you personalized recommendations and help you break through the noise. Listen, I've benefited from therapy for a very long time, and maybe you should try too, right? Because your mental health is very, very important. And if you haven't noticed, man, listen, it's you. You got to take care of you. And I know that sometimes it's hard because you feel like you have nobody to talk to, and that's where a therapist can come in. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's really, really convenient, and you can get started with BetterHelp. So, as the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/genius.
Jon Stewart already destroyed this format over 20 years ago. In the early 2000s, he was a guest on a CNN show called Crossfire. It was hosted by some dude and another dude, one liberal, one conservative. Guess who the conservative was? Tucker Carlson.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was a live show with two opposing sides debating concept or whatever, right? And then they had a guest, Jon Stewart, and he was telling them, this show is horrible for our country. Straight up, he was a guest. He's like, this show is so bad for us as a nation. And then like they canceled the show like afterwards, right? And they try to say, oh, it wasn't because of Jon Stewart, but it was literally Jon Stewart killed the show.
I mean, he's right though.
And then that's the thing. Jubilee brought it back.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they don't know what Crossfire was, right? They just thought they had an original idea.
Yeah.
Not without knowing over 25 years ago, we discussed this and said, this is bad for our country.
I think what happens too, for them, they're a growing media company, right? Is that when something hits, you do it until the wheels fall off, right? Yeah. But nobody's looking at like the repercussions that it has, right? And I'm not saying that when you create content that you're solely responsible, because everybody has free will and free thought, right? I don't believe that. But what's happening with the content now from a show that I used to like, it's now like we are just trying to incite anger from finding the most disgusting human beings on earth. Well, and I'm over it.
That's a real sociological ploy that you learn in college, and it coincides with journalism / media and marketing.
Yeah.
Right. The greatest response you're going to get is anger.
Yeah.
Right. That's just human nature. That's the
people
best
talk
thing.
More about the things they hate than they love.
Yeah.
Right. Even comedy is like that. So when I watched the show, it was long. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. I had to watch it in this period of like 4 or 5 days because it was just pissing me off.
I wouldn't spend that time, but
it was pissing me off.
For you.
So I just started watching little bits of it.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of things that I didn't like about it, right? Like, number one, I think Hassan did a great job, right? He, brought all of his facts and, they were getting sands checked and he was pretty correct about a lot of the stuff that he was saying. What I didn't like about him, though, is that he wouldn't shut the fuck up. It's like the point of the show is for us to hear the other side. No matter how ridiculous, stupid, or crazy it is, we will never get to meet these type of people.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never get to meet them, right? I want to hear the insanity coming out of their mouth because there was a person, right? He says like, well, you're a fascist. You don't even see me as a person, so I don't have to debate you at all. Like the First Amendment doesn't mean that I have to debate you. I was like, you're on a show.
If you don't do what you came to the show to do, then
leave.
Yeah.
So he's like, because you're a fascist, basically was saying is like, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to debate you, which is like,
what? Who cares?
Who cares? That's the point. And he's like, well, the First Amendment doesn't, that's what, and his point was to the next person was like, well, the point is like, the First Amendment doesn't mean I have to talk to everybody. I was like, those are two separate subjects, you fucking idiot. You're on a show.
It means you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, like what the fuck? That's the point of the show, you idiot.
It's like you can say something without the government coming after you.
Yeah.
Don't make the First Amendment about the consequences of you saying the N-word.
Yeah. So it's like, I want to hear from the fascist. Not because I agree with him. I'm never going to meet a fascist.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point of the show.
Let me know how in this day and age, what influenced you? What have you been reading?
How did you get here? Aren't you the journalist?
Yeah. And instead you're like, nah, you shouldn't exist. No, don't talk to you. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like, look, we all agree that we don't like the fascist. But now, I don't get to hear why he's a fascist. I want to hear it.
He got fired too.
Who did?
The fascist.
Yeah, he got fired.
He got fired for being a fascist.
Yeah. And I want to hear his origin story.
Yeah. And understandably, you'd be like, that's interesting because it's not like we live in a fascist state. He just believed we should be.
Yeah.
Right? And then you learn he works for a Catholic Christian radio station. So they're like,
what?
Yeah. So like, yeah, get out of here.
Yeah. You know what the craziest thing about that whole experience too was to hear people. There was a guy that was Iranian, right? He was from Iran. And he is on the far right side in the group of people that don't want him in the country. And so one thing that Hassan did really good, he goes, these people don't want you here. Right? And he goes, before we continue this conversation, do you recognize that these people want you out of the country? He goes, well, I'm not debating them. I'm debating you. He goes, before we continue this conversation, I need you to answer this. Do you understand that what you're fighting for, these people hate you. Mm-hmm. They don't want you here. And he goes, I'm not going to answer. It's like, then you've already lost the debate.
Yeah.
You can't even he goes, well, we need to reach a common ground. Do you know? And he goes, for the 5th time I'm asking you, do you know? He goes, and he just kept trying to work around it. It's like, holy shit. So I'm like I said, I'm not shitting on, I'm just saying the one part I didn't like about what he came on the show to do. Mm-hmm. Like talking over people and doing the Ben Shapiro thing where you're speaking 10,000 miles a second, whether you're saying something right or wrong, is not conducive for a conversation.
I think the Jubilee format is not a good conversation format.
It's not.
It's very sociologically entertaining in the way where it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jubilee show is informative. I think the Jubilee show is rage baiting.
Yeah.
The way, okay, it's essentially, who's that asshole MMA fighter who lost to Usman twice, and I can't remember.
Colby Covington.
Colby Covington.
Oh, it is Colby Covington.
Colby Covington is a sociologist. Yeah. He has a degree in sociologist. He understands what he's fucking doing by rage baiting. And now he's a multimillionaire. Okay. Yeah. He knew what he was doing in the business that he does. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Jubilee doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Any video editor should fucking know what the fuck you're up to and what you're doing and content you're making. They know what they're doing, and they're going to get their views and that's it. If they say, oh no, we're trying to get to the heart of America, I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't believe you.
That's why I didn't know too that there's a huge group of people that actually hate them because of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't hate them, right? I just look at it as like, I don't think this is good for us.
We know them.
Yeah.
Okay. Full disclosure, we know them. We don't hate them. Yeah. I'm just speaking
about the content.
Look, right? they don't need me. My opinion doesn't fucking matter. They have hundreds of millions of views. They're gonna continue.
Like I'm watching it too.
Yeah.
Right. But I think like when we look at this content, it's just, before people watch it, I just want people to understand this isn't a reflection of everybody, right? Mm-hmm. These are very extreme versions. To have people who are openly fascist and say, get out of my fucking... There was a guy that was arguing that he is a Native American because his ancestors, his forefathers were settlers. What in the fucking insanity is...
Settle into America clearly means you're not native.
Exactly. In the word alone, settlers means you aren't from here. And they go, well, the Americas wasn't the Americas until they came. America's a Spanish fucking word.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Americas, you fucking idiot. Here's the other part of the argument too that I wish like Hassan would have brought up. Immediately I thought this. Okay, so if you're saying that if you have roots here as founding settlers, right? And then let's find the date that America was established.
Right.
Now, every white person that came after you were established, they are also immigrants as well. So what is the percentage of the white people who came after America was established that is now considered an immigrant? They also got to fucking go too. If you weren't a founding settler, then you don't also belong in the country by his argument.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really fucking make sense. Yeah. The fact that something like that exists is fucking unreal to me.
See, and they're arguing against birthright citizenship. That same person, I bet.
Yeah.
But that's why they're moving the bars and saying we're native.
Yeah.
And that's why you can take away birthright citizenship. But what they're really trying to say is white people.
Just say it.
Yeah, white people don't have to take a citizenship test. And this is what I think. You want to hear my fascist idea? I think then there should be an American citizen test for everyone.
Everybody.
Even if you were born in this country.
Yeah.
You get all the fucking dumbasses to become second-tier citizens.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear that? That's fascist.
Yeah.
You know?
At least the guy who's a fascist knows he's a fucking fascist. Yeah. You know, and he's like upright about it. Which surprisingly, he was quite pleasant. He was the most pleasant fascist I've ever seen. I was kind of shocked. I'm like, you know, you're kind of nice. Right?
Like, the man wants a dictator. But look, in the same way. Yeah. In the same way, look, there's communists and socialists that are loud and proud in this country, right? But guess what? We don't live in a socialist or communist country. No matter what we do, we are full-blown, like, capitalists.
Yeah.
Right? As much as those people want to be and believe it, they're not going to lose their fucking job. Look, fascism is tied to Nazis, so I understand. But then as a First Amendment ideology, he can think whatever the fuck he wants, to be honest. Like, I honestly don't think he should have lost his job. I don't know, because he believes in a thought. If he was explicitly saying, yeah, fuck everyone who's not white and is mad racist straight up, then yeah, I understand. But as a political system we don't live in, and he likes it, yeah, whatever. That's just a thought he had. I don't get it.
I think maybe more it's like, I guess when you have a company, there's company culture, right? If you don't align with the company values, then you probably have to go. Yeah. And that's probably what it is.
Right.
In my Asian mind, I'm like, how good of a job is he doing? Which is so bad.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, God, he's such a good worker.
Yeah.
Just don't say fascist things and just keep doing the IT stuff, guy. Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm just going to ignore it. I never heard of it, you know? But I'm pretty sure them as a radio show, they probably had to before they got shat on.
Yeah, that's true.
So it kind of makes sense, right? But that's what I say. I was surprisingly shocked how pleasant he was.
Yeah.
There was some other people too. Like I guess Hassan, he was doing an interview after. He goes, you know, there's footage that Jubilee didn't release. I can't talk about it, but let's just say they weren't saying very nice things to me. Like they were like saying racist shit, like get the fuck out of my country.
See, that's pussy, Jubilee. Now, you know me, I know you. That's fucking pussy, Jubilee. Yeah. Put the fucking footage up.
I want to see it.
We want to see that shit. You should put it up. Why? Why are you protecting them?
I don't know.
See, now I'm angry. Fuck you.
Let's just see it. Let's see it. Because Hassan said, like, I can't talk about, obviously, because there's an NDA and disclosure type of stuff. But when I was watching the editing too, I was so glad he said that, because there's weird cuts. And you'll also see some of their reactions. I'm like, you want to say something racist. I can see it in your fucking face. Yeah. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
We need to hear it. You cannot fucking save these people's faces. They said it. They were on camera. They knew it. They fucking signed a release. Yeah. They knew what they were saying. They said it to his face. Jubilee, don't make me say your names, your real names. Fucking release the footage.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
Like, because if that's the case, and that's what Hassan was alluding to, let's see it. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to see this whole side. Yeah. Right. And that's why, like I said, on the other side of the thing, I have to be consistent. Is like, if I didn't like Hassan speaking over people and not letting and it was being censored because he was either talking over, he wanted to stop the conversation. I also don't think it's okay that you take that part out. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
If you're so bold, you guys, they came on a platform to publicly say how they feel because they feel like this is the way the country is, right? We don't belong here. We're not very American. And there's a point that Hassan made that I thought was kind of funny and very cool. He goes, you guys, at a certain point, he was like, you know what? You guys love immigrants. You love it. You fucking love them with your iPhones. Everything that's been created was by an immigrant. You love it. You fucking love us. It's like, it's kind of true, right? And that's like the idea too. Like, there was also somebody else too that was talking about how they empathize with America because America is losing its culture, right? And they brought up how Britain is slowly not becoming Britain anymore because it's being taken over by immigrants. I don't know how Britain feels about their, because they are the colonizers. They colonize everybody else, right? So I don't know what your fucking deal is. I've never been there. I have no fucking thing.
Oh, boo-hoo. You don't like the way that feels? We should talk to Australia and South Africa.
Yeah.
And the Americas. And all. Oh, England's not England anymore. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
You spent hundreds of years colonizing the entire planet over spices, and you have no spices in your food. Yeah. You deserve to be shit on today.
It's just a weird thing to like compare our country, because what was this like country founded on? You know what I mean? It wasn't founded on, I want everybody to look like me. It was like, look, we're being oppressed. We want to live the life that we want to live, and let's create our own constitutional rules where it protects the people over the government. Yeah. And that's what I think this country is. There was no promise of like being racially homogenous.
Yeah.
Right? There was nothing about that. So that's an ideal that you wanted, right? But your culture is not being erased. This is American culture. It's not being changed. Or from what I've been taught anyways.
This is about what white people need to understand when they argue for a segregated state again, right? Is that those white people who want segregation don't realize that you're going to be the low rung of society to other white people.
Yeah.
You fucking retard. You think once black people are segregated, your inbred cockeyed ass is gonna be like eating the fucking special menu at Taco Bell or some shit. Like, you are still a fucking loser.
It's just a very weird concept, especially when I hear them talk. It's like I said, these are very interesting people that you most likely will never meet, right? They're a very, I think, surprisingly a small group of people in this country. There might be people who kind of empathize with some of those ideals, but they don't go as far as them, right? Most people do understand what an integrated culture society does, from music to fashion to culture, everything else. It's pretty much influenced by everywhere around the world. We live in a global society now.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can do about it unless we get rid of the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It happened early on for me. I remember when I started hearing Bay Area music out in Los Angeles. Like, what the fuck do you guys know about? I was like, oh, I forgot. Music is global. It goes everywhere. It's not just to a certain area now. Not everybody, we talked about how artistry gets stolen and everything else like that, but everybody is starting to melt, right? It's not something that you can go backwards on. I do believe in preservation of culture to a certain extent. Right? Like,
yeah, you should be who you are. I think if anyone's trying to, whenever people shit on American culture, I take offense to that.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily see it as white culture either. America has a beautiful culture of its own. You know what? Did you see that viral video of that little white girl rapping the 3 6 Mafia at a black restaurant? Killing it, right? That's America.
Yeah.
That's fucking America, and you're not going to see it in anywhere else around the world. That's America. That's the beautiful part we have. And for some reason, the forefront of that is people. The loudest voices are saying that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Why are we allowing this, right? Or what? We as a society need to look in the mirror about how we are entertaining ourselves with rage bait.
Yeah.
Right? And
hey, why don't you guys fuck more then, huh?
Yeah. Go get laid.
Make some more babies. Make as many babies as you want. Yeah. I don't know. I like America and then what it stands for, right? And I really do believe like the diversity part is a huge part of it. Maybe that's just my interpretation of it, and it doesn't really align with theirs. But that's also like the beauty of being American. It's like you could have your ideals and I could have mine.
Without the diversity, then I wouldn't feel like an American.
Yeah.
Without the diversity, then I would be not a part of this country.
Yeah.
I wouldn't we wouldn't be considered Americans.
Don't you ever go to a Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
If I ever see you at a Taco Tuesday, I'm fucking shoving, Del Taco spicy sauce in your eyes, dude. How fucking dare you, dude? I don't know, man. That video was so jarring for me that I didn't realize that people like that exist.
Yeah.
Especially, like I said, the Iranian guy threw me off. Like, he threw me off the most. First of all, he dressed up like a train track villain. I was like, what the fuck? He had like an American tie on. He had like the mustache, top hat. It's like, what the fuck are you, dude? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. I'm curious to see if you guys saw that Jubilee episode. I want to know your thoughts on it. The Epstein Files stuff is pretty nuts. You can catch Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. And you can catch Ed at Ed Park VP and Manga Miata. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.